Once upon a time, back in ancient Greece, there was a king who had 3 daughters. Among them, Psyche stood out as the most beautiful one. People couldn't help but stare at her because she was drop-dead gorgeous. Even folks from faraway lands traveled just to catch a glimpse of her. Psyche's beauty was so dazzling that it started to overshadow Aphrodite, the goddess of beauty herself. People began worshipping Psyche instead of Aphrodite, which made the goddess angry. Aphrodite wasn't happy about losing her followers to a mortal, so she told her son, Eros, the god of love and desire, to make Psyche fall in love with something gross. One night, while Psyche was sleeping, Eros tried to shoot her with an arrow to make her fall for something ugly. But he messed up and ended up falling in love with her himself because he pricked himself with the arrow. Even though Eros was in love with her, Aphrodite still wanted to get back at Psyche. She said Psyche would never find true love and would be alone forever. Despite her sisters getting married to rich and important guys, Psyche couldn't find love. Her dad got worried and went to ask the Oracle of Delphi what was up. The oracle said Psyche would marry a monster who would kill her. The king was devastated by this revelation and fell into great despair. And with a heavy heart, he decided to follow the oracle's advice. He left her on a hill. Psyche stood atop the hill, adorned in her exquisite wedding attire, awaiting the arrival of the alleged monster to consume her. Instead, a nice wind called Zephyrus carried her away to a fancy palace in the sky. In the palace, she finally encounters her prophesied husband, yet he always lurked in the shadows, never revealing his face. At night, Psyche waited for her husband, dreading that he might be a monster as the oracle prophesied. However, to her surprise, her husband treated her kindly and with care. Every night, he came to her in bed and lay with her, spending the entire night loving each other. They derived great pleasure from each other night after night, but in the morning, he would sneak out without showing his face to Psyche. Psyche often asked him to show his face to her, but he refused, saying, "Isn't the love we share daily more than enough? Is my face more important than our love?" Her doubt was then amplified by her sisters, who, seeing Psyche's newfound fortune, became seriously jealous. They planted seeds of mistrust in Psyche's mind, telling her that the prophecy of the oracle would come true in the future and advising her to take matters into her own hands. They suggested she take a knife to her bedroom and slit her husband's throat while he was sleeping. The following night, Psyche took a lamp and a knife, adhering to her sister's advice. To her surprise, when she illuminated her husband's face, she saw a beautiful man sleeping there. Not a monster as the oracle or her sisters had foretold. Enamored by his beauty, she was certain he must be a god. Indeed, it was the one and only Eros who had been visiting her every night. While admiring his beauty, some hot oil spilled on his chest, waking him up. He was shocked to see Psyche holding a knife, ready to kill him. Upset, he cursed Psyche, accusing her of breaking his trust and being willing to kill him based on words of others. Eros then flew back to Olympus, declaring he would never see her again. As he flew, Psyche grabbed onto him in an attempt to stop him from leaving, but it was to no avail, and she fell off, injuring herself mildly. Devastated by this heartbreak, she figures she'll seek solace at the temple of Demeter, the goddess of agriculture. She's throwing herself into her chores there, hoping to drown out the pain, but no amount of work can shake off that heartbreak, even for a minute. Demeter, being the compassionate type, takes pity on Psyche and gives her some advice. Head over to Aphrodite's turf and see if she can work some magic to fix things. Psyche then goes to Aphrodite's temple. But Aphrodite ain't exactly rolling out the red carpet for her. Psyche's all, "Please, Oh, please forgive me and let me win back my love. But Aphrodite's not having it. She's like, you've got a lot of nerve showing your face here. Missy, you've caused me enough grief already. Aphrodite's got a laundry list of tasks for Psyche to complete, and they're no walk in the park. The first task presented to Psyche was to sort a huge pile of mixed seeds into separate heaps by nightfall. Aphrodite, knowing the impossibility of the task, expected Psyche to fail miserably. However, Psyche received unexpected aid from an army of ants, which helped her complete the task just before nightfall. Despite the odds, Psyche succeeded through her kindness towards even the smallest creatures. Aphrodite's second task for Psyche was to retrieve a golden fleece from the fierce sheep of the sun god, Apollo. These sheep were known for their ferocity and the deadly dangers they posed. Undeterred, Psyche embarked on her mission, guided by her unwavering determination. Through her resourcefulness and cunning, she managed to acquire the fleece without succumbing to the perils of the task. As Psyche persevered through each task assigned by Aphrodite, the goddess's fury seemed to escalate with every completed challenge. With relentless determination, Aphrodite devised yet another seemingly insurmountable trial for Psyche, fetching water from the river Styx. Overwhelmed by despair at the daunting nature of the task, Psyche found herself on the brink of surrender. However, just as hope seemed to fade, a divine intervention unfolded. Zeus, the mighty king of the gods, took notice of Psyche's plight. Moved by compassion, or perhaps by the unfolding drama, Zeus dispatched one of his majestic eagles to aid the beleaguered princess. With swift and graceful movements, the eagle soared to the banks of the river Styx, effortlessly collecting the sacred water in its talons. Psyche faced her ultimate trial, a perilous task that seemed destined to seal her fate in death. Under the relentless wrath of Aphrodite, Psyche was commanded to journey to the underworld and retrieve a fragment of the beauty belonging to Persephone, the wife of Hades. In the realm of Greek mythology, the underworld stands as an impenetrable domain reserved for the deceased, and entering or exiting its bounds is a feat believed impossible for the living. With this final task, Aphrodite sought to rid herself of Psyche once and for all, confident that the mortal princess would meet her demise. Yet, amidst the darkness of her despair, a whisper of hope beckoned to Psyche. Against all odds, she discovered a clandestine entrance to the underworld and, guided by Chiron, the boatman of the river Acheron, ventured into the realm of shadows. Miraculously, Psyche not only gained passage, but also secured an audience with Persephone herself. Persephone, moved by Psyche's plight, extended her sympathy and hospitality. However, the princess was cautioned against partaking of the palace's offerings, as accepting them would bind her to the underworld indefinitely. Intrigued by Psyche's cunning, Persephone entrusted her with a golden box purportedly containing a portion of her beauty. Driven by mortal curiosity, Psyche succumbed to temptation and opened the box, only to find it held not beauty, but an eternal slumber. Unbeknownst to Psyche, Eros had been covertly aiding her in her trials, all without Aphrodite's knowledge. It was his soothing voice that she had heard, guiding her through the labyrinth of challenges. Now, fully recovered and free from the confines of the palace, Eros emerged to orchestrate Psyche's rescue from her tribulations. Seeking justice for Psyche's plight, Eros appealed to Zeus, beseeching the king of the gods to intervene. Recognizing Psyche's worthiness and the potential for her love to soothe Eros's mischievous heart, Zeus decreed that Psyche and Eros were to be wed. Thus, Psyche's fate was transformed. Immortalized by Zeus, she ascended to become the goddess of the soul, forever united with her beloved Eros. Despite Aphrodite's discontent, the divine wedding that ensued was celebrated with the grandeur befitting such a union, attended by the divine pantheon in all its splendor.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe to get more content like this.